Okay, Reed, can we pull up another one, please?
The left has dropped his bike and is kind of obviously a little drunk and sits down. And you can see her over on the right there continuing to load her car, has not noticed him at all. And you can see the people driving by significantly. Now, you know, he decides then finally to get up when he sees nobody coming. You can see him kind of check both sides of the road. You can see he's maybe a little inebriated, just walks right up behind her and gets her in a choke. Not a bad one, but this is emotional here, that he is telling her what he is going to do and has emotionally cowed her. Notice that he closes that and see that she's got her hands up. Okay, I don't want any problems or whatever. Now he's deciding what he is going to do at this point, thinks about taking her across the street, and instead takes her back to her car. And now it cut forward a little bit. That was the news station that did that, not me. Don't know how long they stood there. And now he is going to get her to get in the car. Notice that he did not physically force her into the car, but you can clearly see she did not want to get in the car. And then he is going to talk to her again some more there, I'm sure, threatening her emotionally, blackmailing her, telling her what's going to happen if she does not comply. Then he's going to get in and close the door. And again, the news story takes a Google Translate to see, says that he raped her. And then thankfully he did not kill her, but that's where this one ends.
Okay, so horrific situation. What should a woman do if she's in that situation? It's at night.
Good. So a couple things,
Yeah,
right?
please.
First thing, we go back to what we talked about in the other situation is I would have preferred that she was aware of the situation. So before she opened up the trunk and started taking things out, she'd take a good look around, see if there's anybody around. I think if she had clocked him and she had seen him, I would guess again, I feel strongly that she would feel a sense of that. She could have gotten back in the car and driven somewhere else or gone, okay? But it happens, right? You're distracted. You're thinking about something else.
Sure.
Maybe she had an iPod on. I don't know.
Sure.
But this guy walks up and he's right on her, and now he's telling her to get in a car and go to a secondary location. And here I would say, even if he had a gun, there's no way she should have gotten in the car with him.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So
in the gift
if
of
they're going
violence.
to take you to a secondary location, it's never a good reason. They're taking you there because they don't want witnesses. In this case, she's lucky he just wanted to rape her. In many cases, they would have killed her because then she's a witness to a rape. And it's easier if you kill the woman in a situation like that. You don't have to worry about her telling on you, right? And so that's what predators like that will do. Her getting in that car and going with him was a huge mistake. So at this particular position, he's got his arms on her. I don't know if he has a weapon or not, but whatever he has there, whatever he's saying to her, I would have liked for her to fight back, to have hit him, to push him, slip right there, and then run into the traffic, right? Run across the street, wave down a car, do something. I will predict to you that guy would have fucking run off quickly, and she would potentially have saved herself from being raped.
Okay, so we got a bunch of things going on in that video. First, we have situational awareness. She didn't have it, and I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying she didn't have it.
She's not victim blaming. This is assessing a situation to make sure there's not future victims.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No.
He approaches her.
This is where you fight.
This is where you fight.
100%.
This is where you fight.
You do not comply and go into a house or go into a car or get into their car or do anything else. The example I use in the book is someone with a gun. Say, get in the car or I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to run. Odds are they're not going to shoot me. If they do shoot, odds are they'll miss. Most of these goofs have no idea how to use a weapon. So if they do hit me, they probably won't kill me. But if I get in that car, you'll probably never see me again.
Right.
So you do not go to a secondary location with anybody. You don't let them ever put you in a position where you can't fight back. They want to tie you up. They want to tie your kids up. They want to know. Those are the situations where fight.
Because they already can't be trusted.
100%. Like
So
you're
why
gonna
would
rely
you?
on this person's. Now you never put yourself in a position where now you have to rely on the mercy of a violent predator who's the type of human being who rapes strange women. So these are the situations where women do have to fight. And it's not women, men, anybody has to fight. But if you're in a situation like that, you want to fight back. Imagine she had a little bit of training. Let's say that she had a couple years of MMA. She knew how to throw a good elbow or a headbutt. Maybe she could do a guillotine choke, something. Who knows, right? But a couple strikes from her and she's running. You go up to Coach Vanessa, who trains here, or somebody, one of the women that trains here, and try and put your arm around her. You're going to get punched a couple times in the face pretty hard, and then she's making space.
Right.
And now you're everybody sees what's going on. And that's exactly what predators don't want to have happen. Finally, we'll go down to the ground, and I'm attacking her. And ironically, if she's on the ground and she's on bottom, which you don't want to be, but if she is, because I'm much bigger and I'm attacking her, this is the position she wants me in as a jiu-jitsu player. She wants to have 4 limbs against mine, right? She either wants her feet on me the way they are here, where she can protect herself a little bit, or around me, right? And we're in a position like this. I think I'm going to take advantage of this position, and then she can do her defense, and then that's break my arm, right? So even though it looks like a position where I'm just going to choke her or hurt her, what I'm actually doing, if she's a good jiu-jitsu player, is giving her my limb. And by the time she locks this up, even if I'm very strong, her hips are stronger than my ability to curl, and she's going to break that arm, right? Another one that's even better, because it's a choke, maybe I reach between her legs. She gets a triangle choke. That's a very strong position for her. She's got all her legs just around my neck. And if I went 1,000, 2, 1,000, before I could get to 3, 1,000, after I tapped, I would black out. So I'm totally unconscious, in which case she can go wherever she wants, right? So one more time, we're here. And so those are just a couple of examples. Those are things that, as she practices jiu-jitsu and trains in the gym over years, she becomes very, very comfortable doing.
And she would be relaxed because she had been in that position.
Sure. She's going to be used to being here. When we're on the ground as jiu-jitsu people, it's like we're like sharks in water. This is where we are all the time. We're comfortable. We can pay attention, and whereas most people don't even know how to swim.
Right. And it's probably safe to say that if someone is never there and all of a sudden they get there, they're going to panic, they're going to tense up, 100%. They're going to freak out.
They're going to panic, they're going to tense up, and they're not going to control the space, right? So if she doesn't control the space, I can really hurt her from here, right? But if she puts her feet on my hip, I'm either too far away to punch her in the face, or if she goes close guard, hug me, too close to get meaningful strikes. And now she's in a position where she's going to spend all day long and start to attack. Go ahead and attack a little bit. Good. And then there she got a guillotine choke. So again, doesn't matter how strong you are. Here's the thing about fighting, right? Thank you.
Am I done? No.
And did you want to add to some of the things that Matt was saying about things that have techniques that have helped you?
I think probably a good thing to add is, how are you going to get up off the floor after we do those triangles or arm bars? You might put them to sleep, but you still want time on your side, and so you want to get up and get away quickly.
Would you mind showing that, please?
Yeah, we can show a technical stand-up. Let's switch spots. So the first thing she did, I'm going back here, Garth, which she just kind of did spontaneously, but the guillotine. It's probably hard to see from that camera angle, but if she can wrap her arm around my neck and grab me, right, all she has to do now is connect her hands. A couple seconds after that, I would tap. Okay. Right? Now, if she wants to get up, she's going to do what we call a technical stand-up. Her feet's going to go to my hip. Good. And then back away. Good. Come back. So she's making a frame as she goes to get up, making a frame, and then she's retracting the bottom leg. That's it. And then she's out of my range. As opposed to an example of the wrong way, she tries to stand up, and as she tries to stand up, her head comes close to me, and this is where she's going to get battered, right? So the idea is she's moving away from me the entire time.
So I noticed there, Salome is of normal weight.
Yeah.
Like many women are not of normal weight, they're overweight. Would that be difficult for them? Had a little bounce in her step there.
Everything is more difficult when you're out of shape, no doubt about that. But it's not going to change the fundamental mechanics, right? Let's actually look at this just from a sitting perspective. So just sit like this for me, Salome. Okay. So she's sitting in this position, right? This is one of the things that's very important for MMA fighters. When they get knocked down, they have to stand back up. Most people, when they stand up, their head comes closer to you. Boom. and that's where she's going to get kicked or punched in the face. So now what I want her to do is stand up. Notice her head. Yep, her head never gets closer to me. Try to do it again slow. Her head goes away from me. Yes. And she can add in a kick with the bottom leg as I approach to the nearest target, which would be my shin. That's her measure, and then step back. That's a technical stand-up. If she's out of shape or heavier, will that be hard? Yes, but it's not difficult movement, right? Basically kick, retract bottom leg, and then move back. If she's capable of lifting her leg off the mat like that, she can do it. And you know what, if she's not, it's all the more important for her to get in the gym.
Exactly what I'm saying.
And a year from now, she'll be moving like Salome.
Okay, last thing. Can you put it in a single sentence for why someone should learn combat arts? What would you say to a person has no combat training whatsoever? What would you say to them in a single sentence that would perhaps motivate them or a good reason to do that?
Being given the gift of life is precious, and you have a moral obligation to defend it, yourself and others. And you will be a better human by engaging in that activity. I've never seen anybody engage in this activity and regret it. Nobody becomes worse. Nobody becomes angrier or more depressed from exercising and training in a healthy environment. If all the ingredients are there, you have a really mature environment and a group of people of all different ages and men and women all training together, and you have a healthy place like that, you will be a better person at the end of the day. But set that aside, like that's a good thing that you'll get from it. Everything you get from it will be good. I would say you have a moral obligation to protect yourself and those you love. And when you decide not to engage with this topic at all, to stick your head in the sand about violence and about evil and about criminal predators are out there, you're not doing anything moral. Don't think to yourself you're a good person because of that. It's the opposite. You're giving away everything your ancestors worked generations for, potentially, because you don't want to be responsible for that. You're not going to be the person that's going to be able to go help someone else when they need it.
You don't want to be responsible for yourself.
You want to be responsible for yourself and the people around you that you love. You have an obligation. I believe you have a moral obligation for that. Being a pacifist, all that does is it pushes that obligation onto other people. You're forcing it onto other people. I'm going to let the police officer train in violence.
Or just hoping it won't happen, crossing your fingers.
Hoping it won't happen. And if it does happen and you're in a situation where you're about to die or your child's about to die, you got to rely on somebody else who didn't make the choice you made. There's nothing moral about that. There's nothing great about that. There's nothing good about that. And I think when people finally realize that and they understand that and they take a little bit of that responsibility on for themselves, it's good for them. It's good for everybody. It's good for the world. The more dangerous good people are, the better our entire planet is, the better our society is. You want to have a safer society, make good people dangerous. You want to have a worse society, make the good people weak. Take away their ability to defend themselves. Take away their motive to defend themselves. Take away their skill at defending themselves. And now you just left the field wide open for evil to come in and take over.
Matt Thornton, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Anytime.